Good morning. I'm Dr. Katurah Jenkins-Hall. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, also an ordained elder, and associate pastor of New Dawn Restoration Center. I'm here today to share my story as it relates to women with HIV/AIDS. My personal story. In 1981, HIV/AIDS was first discovered in the United States. 5 years later, 1986, I got married that year. Also, 2 weeks after I got married, my sister Gwen had done a very, very beautiful wedding reception, had worked very hard. 2 weeks later, I was visiting Gwen at her bedside. And although she was in for a different procedure, she told me and my older sister, Olivia, that she was HIV positive. At the time, it was considered a death sentence. Thank God it no longer is. But at the time, I was devastated. I looked at my sister, trying to put on my poker face, looked at my older sister, and my sister said, God can handle this, and we can too. So rather than freak out or panic, I invited Gwen to come live with me after her discharge. I wanted to take care of my sister. This sister, 5 years older, was my mentor, my role model, full of life. She had the biggest heart in the world, and she was HIV positive. All we knew about HIV at the time was, you could get it through sex with the wrong partner. You could get it through any type of body fluid exchange, and that bleach would kill it. And so she came to me equipped with all kind of bleach, and she was determined to take care of herself. And I asked her, Gwen, why do you clean up so much? And she said that you cannot be as worried about getting HIV/AIDS as I am about transferring it to you. And so she would clean after herself. She was bored at my house, and so went back to St. Petersburg, and she started working with an advocacy group for HIV/AIDS education. And so I'm really, really proud of Gwen. At the time, we thought she could either get it, she could have gotten it through blood transfusion, which was part of her hospital stay, or from a man that she was involved with who was an IV drug user. It was so easy to say blood transfusion at the time. It was less easy and acceptable to say I was involved with an IV drug user. It turns out that the man that she was involved with died of AIDS, and so Gwen would live for 8 years. The stigma is so important to address. Gwen was fortunate. She was surrounded by family and church friends and community who loved her and supported her. Most women are not as fortunate. Most women, 6 out of 10 women with HIV/AIDS are African American women. Most of these have contracted HIV through what they believed were heterosexual relationships. Normal heterosexual relationships, nothing unusual about the relationship except the partner was infected. This is something for us to understand and to reach out to prevent. When Gwen was at the end of her life, she would be in her hospital bed and she would be just banging on her stomach as hard as she can, just banging on her stomach. And I said, Gwen, why do you beat your stomach like that? And she said, the pain on the outside is not nearly as severe as the pain on the inside. This image is in my mind as we think about the pain and suffering of people who live and die with this disease. It is so important to be aware of what we can do, what every leader can do, but what the community can do to help prevent the spread of HIV/AIDS. We have to promote education. We have to promote testing. But most of all, we have to allow the space for someone to come forth without shame to say, I'm HIV positive and I need my family, I need my community, I need my church. The Word of God promises us beauty for ashes, oil of joy for the spirit of mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. For those who mourn in Zion, there are many of us, probably 90% of us, who know someone who's affected by HIV/AIDS. You'll find your beauty for ashes. You'll find your joy. We should take that and reach out to others to show love, compassion, a space that is safe. Thank you.